Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, now you can hear me, right? You can hear me now, right? Boom, boom, boom. Let's get it. All right. Must start now because I do not have much time. In the chat is going crazy, but I'm just going to talk. You guys talk amongst yourselves. You guys conversate amongst yourselves. It is a glorious time to be a Nets fan. Let's start this, okay? I'm just going to take the recording from here. Let's do it, man. From the top. From the top. I got enough light in here. We're good. We're good. Here we go. Talking Nets, episode 137. News just broke that Kyrie will return as a part-time player on road. We've been talking about this for the last couple weeks. Obviously, Shams just broke the news, and then Woj just followed it up. Obviously, last week, Woj put out that article saying that Katie and Kai were preparing for him to come back. They've been talking. A week before, was talking about plant-based vaccines. Honestly, right now, the NBA is getting hit with COVID. So is every other league. It's kind of crazy that Kyrie is going to come back. And someone just told me there's a chance that as long as he, tests negative, whatever, he doesn't have to get vaxxed. We already know the rules on road versus being in New York. Whatever. Let's talk about it, and let's talk about the last two games and everything that's happening right now in the Nets world for your Brooklyn Nets. This is Keith McPherson. This is Talking Nets. Let's get it. We go hard. We go hard. We go hard. Can you guys hear me? Because I'm not hearing it. We got to take this from the top. Hold on. Let's see if I go here with it. All right. Now I'm hearing some. I don't know if you guys caught that, but that's fine. Emergency pods tend to be like this. They're an emergency. All right. Let's see. Hold on. Boom. All right. And we are recording here. You guys can hear me, right? All right, you hear me. Did you catch my spiel? I have to do it again anyway because this is for the podcast too. So, Talking Nets, Emergency Pod, episode 137. It's happening. Kyrie is back. The return of Kai. We saw the Shams article last week that hinted at a return because Katie had been talking to Kyrie. We saw the article from Scoop B about a plant-based vaccine. Right now, the NBA is being hit with COVID like crazy, and it is kind of crazy that unvaccinated Kyrie is about to join the first-place team in the East, a 21-8 team that is winning right now without half the team, is about to get one of the best players you've ever seen play back. Our world, Nets world. It's a great time to be a Nets fan. Talking Nets. Let's get it. We go hard. And we go hard. 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 We go hard. Brooklyn, we go hard. We go hard. Brooklyn, we go hard. Yes, sir. Welcome back to Talking Nets, episode 137. Keith McPherson coming to you from New Jersey. On my way into the city in the next 30 minutes because I'll be on WFAN from 7 p.m. to 12, probably talking more about Kyrie as more comes out as we learn more. But what a day it's been already. From yesterday till today, I'm just going to talk freely and I'm just going to speak freely about what's going on. And I'm not going to bury the lead here. There's a ton. So, boom. Just in, All-NBA star Kyrie Irving started the process to return to the Brooklyn Nets. Sources tell The Atlantic Stadium. Kyrie is ramping up and has been. I can't even read this, has begun team COVID-19 testing, and his season debut date is still to be determined. It's happening, y'all. It's going down. It is literally happening. It is going down. It is literally happening. It is going down. Woj says, ESPN sources, with the unfolding circumstances of Brooklyn's season, including injuries, COVID losses, and an inordinate minutes load on their superstar players, the Nets are bringing back all-star guard Kyrie Irving as a part-time player for games outside of New York. Hey, yo. Wow. Did y'all see the game last night? I was at the game last night. We're about to get Kyrie back. I've talked about my timeline, and I've said my timeline I hope is wrong. I've said a bunch of times that literally I just hope that the Brooklyn Nets change their stance. I said the one thing that can change is the Nets changing their stance. The Nets decided that he can't play on the road. The Nets decided that they didn't want him to be a distraction. If you listen to Talking Nets, what have I been saying the last few weeks? He's not a distraction. The guys want him back. He's not a distraction. We're number one. We're the first seed. We're the first team in the East to 21 wins. We have 21 wins. KD is carrying us with rookies right now. So why can't Kyrie join us on the road to kind of take some of that responsibility off of KD's back? KD is playing 40 minutes a night. We have to think about the rest of the season. And I think that this is a precaution, not so much because it has nothing to do with COVID. It has nothing to do with the team needing Kyrie. It's this. They're paying Kyrie, like I've also said on multiple episodes, they're paying Kyrie for road games. And the article that Scoop B put out said that Kyrie is as happy as he's ever been. Yeah, you would be happy as hell if you were waking up every day and after a road game, hundreds of thousands of dollars were deposited into your bank account and you could get up and you could be with your wife and your kids and decide what you want to do all day. But you know what? Kyrie is a hooper. And I knew it was only a matter of time until 11 decided, I need to be out there. I need to be on the court. I miss it. You know, vaccines are one thing. COVID-19, 20, 21, now 22 is something that is never going to go away. It's going to be here for a while. We're playing through a pandemic. Some guys got vaccinated. Other guys didn't. In the NBA, Kyrie thought that he was going to be afforded some type of way to play for the Nets without a shot. This thing snowballed, and here we are now. It hasn't even been that long. It's been 2 months. It's been 2 months since the Nets decided that he wouldn't play on road with the team. That they fought for him to be in the HSS Center. They fought for him to be able to practice with the team. And then they decided because of the media, because of all the nonsense in the media, that, hey, this is going to be too much of a distraction. We had on opening night, we had MAGA and anti-vaxxers mob the arena and block the front entrance. That is in the past now. It's over. It's done. Things have changed. Things have died down. We had Aaron Rodgers get busted for not being vaccinated. We had Antonio Brown get caught for using a fake vaccination card. Kyrie didn't do any of that. All Kyrie said was, please respect my privacy. That's it. So you know what? Forgive you. The Nets forgave him. The Nets don't hate him. The team doesn't hate him. They made him a villain. They dragged this man for weeks. And now look who's coming out on top. Kyrie is back. The return of Kai. The return of Kai. 11. The Nets are playing out of their minds right now. The Nets, for the first time in a long time, have rookies on this team that are at an NBA level. In Marks we trust. I can't think of another time. There was a block of years where we traded our picks. The Celtics were using our first round picks. There was the last few years where we were getting guys like Rodion Kurucs and John and Musa. You know, like now we're in this new Nets world where Sean Marks is drafting these kids and they're NBA ready. And shout out to the Long Island Nets. I don't think enough can be said about the development in the G League and the coaches in the Long Island Nets getting these guys ready to play at an NBA level in a matter of a month and a half. I've been at the game. I was at the game last night. I wasn't at the game Tuesday, but I've been watching. I've been on the radio. I've been talking about it. It's actually crazy. We just got the Talking Nets Twitter account back. I don't know if you guys are following, but you should be. Talking Nets Twitter is back. Boom. You see that? We were locked out of that account. We were locked out of the Talking Nets Twitter account since September. I have literally been talking to people at Twitter and finally got a hold of the guy at Universal Music who flagged us for using Pop Smoke's music. Finally got a hold of him. Thanks to WFAN. Thanks to me actually having an email from Odyssey, the company, and getting some respect. Because when I sent a message to him from my other emails, my Gmails, he didn't respond. But finally, he saw WFAN. He saw my position on the fan, and he responded, and he said, let's get this settled. Sorry about that. Let's get this worked out. Boom. My contact at Twitter, who I used to work with at MTV, shout out to Liz. Liz came through on the back end at Twitter out in San Francisco, pulled a couple strings, talked to this guy. Next thing you know, I'm getting on the train last night. I accidentally logged into the account, trying to log into my own account and switch to the new Talking Nets account that's got like 1,700 followers. I accidentally switched into it after the game. The Nets world is exploding. At the game last night, I was on the air with Chris Carino and Tim Capstraw. Capper and Carino had me on air with a headset in the arena. I felt like I was about to call a damn game. We're doing it, y'all. I appreciate all y'all that watch. I appreciate all y'all that subscribe. Subscribe to this channel. If you're not subscribed right now, you're bugging out. Click like, subscribe. We're about to break 1,000 subscribers. We're about to be monetized, and we're getting interest, okay? When I say we're getting interest, that means people are interested in Talking Nets and helping myself and Hudson Flynn, who was at the game last night, who is back in the fold, who is back in the program, who you will see on the pod in 2022. People are interested in helping us now. People are interested in working with us now, advertising with us now. And that's because of y'all. That's because of every person that downloaded Talking Nets podcast. That's every person that liked the video, watched the stream, that's in this chat right now, that's a Nets fan, that celebrated last night when they saw the account come back, that have been waiting for Talking Nets to be freed. It's our world, Nets world. Joy to the world. We're a week away from Christmas Eve, and we're getting hella gifts. Kyrie is back. The Talking Nets account is back. Hudson is back. I'm back on the radio tonight from 7 p.m. to midnight talking Nets. And lately, it's been talked about how much I talk about the Nets and how I give us this alpha energy on New York radio because I'm not a Knicks fan, not even kind of. And how someone has to talk about what's going on in Brooklyn. There's a Brooklyn basketball factory. That's what's going on. We're taking these young kids that are 19, 20 years old, and they're NBA ready. The best player in the world plays in Brooklyn. The MVP. Say that. Say it. The best player in the world, the MVP, is Kevin Durant. I don't know what else y'all want me to say. Y'all, let's go over these games because I don't have too much time. Now, Tuesday night, right? Tuesday night, I'm at the station, and I hear that as I'm walking into the station, I run into Evan Roberts, and I hear that James Harden and Bruce Brown are now ruled out. We had already known about Millsap. We had already known about Bembry, Aldridge. I know I'm forgetting somebody. Javon Carter, of course. We had already heard about those guys. We had already heard that we would be down a few guys. So my thoughts were, punt this game. Because KD was listed as questionable with an ankle where it's like, yo, we shouldn't play this game. If KD is hurt, rule him out, and then boom, we have 7 players, we punt this game, or we postpone this game, or we play KD for a little bit and we punt this game. No. That's not what we do. That's not what we do in Brooklyn. That's not what we do at the Clays. We stack wins. We get wins, and we stay in first place, and we compete. We have the best player in the world. There is no laying down. These kids are ready. These kids are ready. Never before seen in the NBA. 4 rookies that played that much together, 2 of them making their debuts, Kessler Edwards and Day'Ron Sharpe stepping on an NBA court together for the first time. Day'Ron Sharpe played 13 minutes. Kessler Edwards gave us 44 minutes and a double-double. Let me look at the box score. I pretty much know it off the top. This kid had 10 rebounds in his first game. He made 3 from deep. He went 3 of 6 from shooting threes. He had 17 points. Kessler Edwards looks ready to go. Blessed, in Marks we trust. You already know about Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas has been here now for a couple weeks. Cam Thomas is ready. You knew about Cam Thomas in the Summer League. You knew about Cam Thomas dropping 46 in Long Island. Cam is coming off the bench like he wants to be sixth man of the year. I know that's a joke and it's far-fetched, but that role he's playing very well. He's not afraid to pull it. He only gave us 4 in the Toronto game, but he played 22 minutes after learning that day that he would have to play that much. All of these rookies stepped up. So you get 44 minutes from Kessler. You get 13 minutes from Day'Ron. You get 22 minutes from Cam, and then we got to talk about Duke. Number 6, David Duke Jr., DDJ. This kid we saw for the first time against the Rockets, and I wanted him to get that win. And he said, you know, it's cool to make my debut and all that, but the win, getting the win. He gave us 10 points in 37 minutes. He also had 13 rebounds. The Nets have depth. They have young players that are ready to play, and they're not afraid of the moment. And then hats off to Nick Claxton. Nick Claxton is back in shape, everyone. Put some respect on his name. He did what he had to do. He's back in shape, and he's helping us. He's contributing on defense and on offense. He's getting into his offensive bag. He played 26 minutes against the Raptors, gave us 16 points. And then our veterans. Blake Griffin. I am happy for you, Blake. I'm so happy for you, Blake. You were getting straight DMPs. You were out of the rotation. You come back, and now you're hitting shots. You're hitting threes, and you're doing all the little hustle things, the intangibles. Biggest play against the Raptors on Tuesday was when it was late in the game, and Blake dove, like 20 feet, dove for the ball. Got the crowd into it. Steve Nash got into it. Steve Nash is trying to lift the Clays up, and if you were at Barclays Tuesday, thank you, because I'm listening, and I'm like, wow, the fans are willing them to victory. This is what it's like. That's home court advantage. That's our arena. They say we have no Nets fans. They say there are no Nets fans. Enough already. And then obviously, Patty Mills, in Marks we trust. Free agent signing of the year. How huge has he been for us? He had a 30-point game against the Raptors. And this is the Raptors. Fred, Spicy P, Scotty Barnes, who's looking real good as a rookie. Chris Boucher, or whatever his name is, he was getting spicy with us. It didn't matter. This is a team that literally won the finals 2 years ago. They got beat. And last but not least, we sing his praise all the time. Kevin Durant, the Slim Reaper. 34-point triple-double, 13 rebounds, 11 assists, and getting it done in the fourth quarter. We locked down in the fourth quarter. Katie makes high IQ basketball plays in the fourth quarter, and then the Nets win. The Nets win. On to the next game last night. Now, I went into the game last night, physically went into the game. I get there early. I was there at 6. As soon as I go in, I link up with Chris Carino, talk to Capper and Carino for a little bit, and it hits me. I'm like, wow, I'm actually in the media. Like, I'm going to get credentials to be in the Nets media. I'm about to go on air for the first time with a headset on in Brooklyn in an arena that I used to sit in the nosebleeds. Used to sit all the way at the top, the steep, tippy top seat, the cheapest seat that you can get. Now I'm in there and I'm on air. I'm broadcasting from there. What a blessing. We're doing it. Nets fans, you could do it too. Let me inspire you. Let me tell you about somebody that came from New Jersey, just wanting to be in this culture, just wanting to be in this energy as a New Jersey Nets fan. Got mad when they moved the team, but understood once I went to my first Brooklyn Nets game that this future we're currently living in was possible. That's why they moved the team. That's why they built Barclays Center. That's why they did all the cool cultural things they did, iconic things they did, from the Coogee jerseys to the city editions that we have now, respecting the New Jersey heritage. And we have the best player in the world. We also have James Harden, and now Kyrie is coming back. They're shook. I'm looking at Twitter. People are shook right now. They're like, I saw somebody say, oh, yeah, well, whatever. You're still going to lose Game 7 at home when Kyrie can't play and the Bucks are in town. Stop it. You haters are shook right now. They are shooketh. So let's talk about the Sixers, because I hate the Sixers just as much as probably any other team. Going into the game last night, I'm like, well, maybe lightning can strike twice, but it's going to be tough. But I also knew that the Sixers got their ass whooped 2 nights ago by the Heat at home, and they're coming on. They're coming off the second game of a back-to-back. You NBA fans know what it is. Y'all know what it is. It's like, all right, they're tired, and Embiid is always tired and always hurt. So we started fast last night, and we start slow, or we used to start slow, and it's making me think about this, right? We were starting slow with some of these veterans, some of these slower, some of these older guys. There's no going back now. Now you've seen what these young guys do. Now you've seen what these young guys bring energy-wise, young legs, starting fast, scoring the ball, playing defense. The Sixers couldn't hit a shot to start the game yesterday. It was magical. We went up 20 points on them with rookies. Never before have you seen in the NBA 2 rookies making their debut in Toronto, two rookies making their debut, 4 rookies on the floor, and then they follow it up 2 nights later. They get back-to-back wins. An overtime win against Toronto, didn't need overtime to finish the Sixers off. Doc Rivers crying at the end of the game. But let's look at the box score. Day'Ron Sharpe gives us another 13 minutes. Solid. He needs more reps. He needs more time. He's got an NBA body, and we know he's going to be a beast. We know what he was in college. He's going to figure the NBA game out. He only gave us 3 points, but it's fine. He had to face Embiid. A rookie going against Embiid. Embiid was damn near MVP. Kessler Edwards hit some shots, made some plays, rebounds, 7 rebounds, 9 points, 32 minutes. Cam time, baby, 11 points, 24 minutes. These are rookies. These are rookies contributing. David Duke Jr. starting. David Duke Jr. gave us 32 minutes, 6 points, rebounds, making plays, hustling, energy. And then, of course, hats off to Patty Mills. Patty Mills contributing again, 34 minutes, 14 points. But last night was about Blake and KD. That was the best game of the season for Blake. I was so happy to see him hit that dagger late. He does all the little things, whether it's drawing a charge or hustling or bringing the ball up, dribbling the ball. I don't mind I don't mind Blake dribbling the ball. Kevin Durant. What else can you say about KD, bros? Like, that hasn't been said. Another 34 points. How many minutes? 39 minutes, 11 rebounds, 8 assists, almost back-to-back nights with a 34-point triple-double with young guys around him that haven't played, guys that are playing their second game, some other guys that are playing their, 8th, 9th game. David Duke Jr. hasn't played 10 games. I think maybe Cam Thomas has played 10 games. It's beautiful. It's amazing. Nets world. Now let's hit the chat quick because I had to get that in the pod, get some information in the pod, get some thoughts in the pod. The chat is going crazy. Let me look over here to try and read the chat. Appreciate y'all. Click like and make sure you subscribe to the channel. What you see here, this is my little studio closet in my crib, but we're going to get into an actual studio. Last episode I did from WFAN. We might do some stuff there. I'm telling you, big things ahead in 2022 because there are a lot of people interested in helping Talking Nets now that Talking Nets is its own thing. It's its own brand. As it currently stands right now, Talking Nets is owned by me. Talking Nets is my thing. And Hudson Flynn came to the game, was in the suite with me last night. We talked. He's back on board. He's running the Twitter again. Unlocked the Twitter last night. Here you go, Hudson. Let's do it. The Instagram. You should be following us on Instagram. We're over 5K. We even have a Twitch. This is streaming on Twitch right now. If you're watching on Twitch, I'd be surprised. There's only 2 people following the Twitch channel. But it's our world, Nets world, and Talking Nets is going to help lead the way. All right, let's see what you guys got in the chat. There were a couple voicemails, but I think they're old now. Honestly, they're dated. So playing these voicemails, not really going to do much. Let's see.
Kevin Durant, 51 points. Against Detroit. Now, I think we're attempting.
No, that one ain't it. He's talking about the Detroit game. That's old. And if you don't get your thought out in a minute, in the first couple seconds, if you guys are calling the voicemail, 201-870-0461, hit me with something quick, and you got it.
Yo, what's up? This is D-Rock in Brooklyn. I just finished listening to your quick hit on YouTube. Thank you for doing that. My thought, John Marks has the trade exception We have a few needs. What or who best fits what we need to fulfill in order to secure this championship this season?
Kyrie Irving. Now, it's funny, right? Because with these hardships, or, the NBA hardship rule and these 10 days, we just signed Langston Galloway. Shout out to him. Got to put a shout out on Langston Galloway because he played last night. He gave us 9 guys. He helped. He hit some shots too. Don't want to leave him out. We just signed James Ennis, and I think we signed another guard. I forget who we signed, but Kyrie Irving solves a lot of problems. Kyrie Irving is a quick fix. Kyrie Irving doesn't make me worry about anybody else coming back to this team because Kyrie is all world. All right, so check me out. I have to drive into the city, but I wanted to give y'all an emergency pod to talk and give y'all in the community a place to talk in the chat. I'm happy we were able to come together quickly and do this, but it's 6 o'clock. I need to be out of my house in the next 15 minutes and at the station by 6:45. Call into the radio. Call into WFAN. Some of you might not be in New York. That's fine, but you don't have to be. You can stream it on the Odyssey app, and then the phone works anywhere phones work. So we'll continue the conversation on air at WFAN. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Let's go Nets. Let's go Nets. Brooklyn.